Hi, welcome back to the Sitch. After a nice summer break, we're ready for episode number 29, where we are going to break down or decompose the mysteries of composting chicken poop to what is affectionately called black gold. First things first, we don't take chicken poop and directly put it in our garden. Most of you know this, but just in case, the nitrate content is way too high, which is going to harm your plants, and there are way too many harmful bacteria in the chicken poop. If you have strawberries and leafy greens that are really close to the ground, that exposure is really close, and it's very easy for harmful bacteria to get onto your fruits and veggies. So if you're keen to transform chicken poop to fertilizer for your plants, here are some basic steps. Ingredients. All you really need is chicken poop, aka nitrogen, plant material, aka carbon, oxygen, and water. The ratio of those ingredients is approximately 30:1 on a weight basis, carbon to nitrogen. So in other words, for every 2 pounds of plant material, you would want about 1 ounce of chicken poop. This ratio, plus some water, not too much, just enough to kind of get everything mixed together, will allow the correct bacteria to grow, which are essential for transforming the uncomposted material to composted material. So what equipment do you need since you now have the ingredients? So ingredients are pretty much free. Equipment costs some money, but not too much. A composting thermometer is really good. It's basically just a really long thermometer, and you want to be able to put that thermometer in the middle of your compost pile to measure the temperature. You also, and this is, I think a good investment, is to have a raised, secure compost bin to prevent rodents, birds, and other critters from getting inside. You can try what's called sheet or lasagna composting, where you place the mixed material on cardboard on the ground, or wet newspaper instead of the cardboard, and then put a thick layer of carbon on top of it. So you've basically made that lasagna. You've got the cardboard on the bottom, you've got the material in the middle, and you've got that carbon layer on top if you wanted to add straw or something like that. I don't like it as much just because it's not as biosecure. I've seen rodents and things like that really burrow down into that material, but it does have some advantages, including cost. As the good bacteria grow, so when you have your compost pile in your compost bin or whatnot, so as those good bacteria grow, heat is generated, and heat is really key to helping the good bacteria grow and inactivating harmful viruses, bacteria, and seeds that can become weeds eventually. To do this, to get to those temperatures, you eventually need to get to a temperature between about 141 and 155 degrees Fahrenheit. However, reaching that temperature range can be a challenge in certain colder and wetter climates, and can also be challenging for backyard poultry enthusiasts, because you just don't have that much nitrogen material, don't have that much poop. So it can be hard to get that heat generated. If you're at a large commercial poultry farm, that's a pretty easy thing to do. And in fact, you sometimes get temperatures that are a little too high, which can kill some of those harmful bacteria. But once you reach that internal temperature of roughly 141 to 155 Fahrenheit, turn the pile, and that does a few things. It'll introduce oxygen, which is really good for the good bacteria, and it'll also take the outer part of your compost pile and put it on the inside. So now the outer material gets exposed to that temperature, and those bacteria will start growing and proliferating associated with that material. So how do you know your compost is done? So there are both objective and subjective ways to know your pile's done. So objective, the internal temperature of your compost pile should reach a temperature of 141 to 155 degrees Fahrenheit. That's easy to measure. That's why you have that composting thermometer. You've probably turned your pile a couple times, gotten to that temperature at least twice, depending on how much material you have. Subjectively, the compost should feel and smell like rich soil and not like poop. The transformation should be obvious, but there are no specific, objective feel and smell, kind of measurements that you're going to make. You're going to want to actually put your hand in there, and it's going to actually kind of feel good and feel like rich soil. Like everything, this comes with experience. However, when in doubt, you can compare it to store-bought compost so you know what it smells and feels like. As noted, composting can be a little tricky for backyard producers, primarily because it can be hard to generate the required temperatures in a small pile. Ultimately, you just need to figure out what works best for your system, and with a little experimentation, you can come up with an approach that works best for your situation. It can provide some comfort to know that humans have likely composted as long as we've farmed, which is over 5,000 years. So to put it another way, you can do this. It can be done. Just got to figure out your system. Thanks again for listening. It's great to be back. And if there are any topics you'd like covered on future episodes of the Sitch, please reach out to me at drcluck@ucdavis.edu. Thanks. Bye.